are we all out there? It is a live. It's my Thursday live. I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 o'clock. So I'm just going to wait for a few people to join. Why aren't you here? Why aren't you here with everybody? But if you'd like to join my Patreon, it's patreon.com/JessRose5472. If you want to stick around, I do like a real crazy, it's not crazy, jingle at the end. Like a like, comment, subscribe jingle. You have to stick around for that. You have to stick around. I can't do it at the beginning because you just wouldn't stay. But yeah, if you just want to hang on a little bit, I'll wait for a few people to join us, have a little chat, and then we'll start. But I'm saying that there's no one here again yet. It's happened a couple of times now, so I'm hoping they do turn up. I'm hoping a few. Hey, Hayley, you're my first. Ha! Tiff, Hayley's beat you. How come everyone beat you? Everyone always beat you. It's crazy. Ha! Hayley's beat you tonight. How are we? How are we all? Nearly the weekend. Gonna see you in 2 days. 2 days. Woo, woo, woo. Hey, P. How you doing? How you feeling? Are you feeling any better? Brother's been poorly, Hayley. So, yes, he's been a little bit poorly. So, you've taken... Why does he not let you in? It should leave you in the waiting thing, shouldn't it? Although, to be fair, I'm always running behind. Then, do you know, before I go live, obviously I have to put a load of details in, so it does take a couple of minutes to get it ready to go up. So that's why you're not in the live. Do you like my hair? Do you like my fake hair? It's not real. It's not real. But it matches, doesn't it? It kind of matches. I thought I'd give it a go. What was the one I bought before? I can't remember the name of it. I've done that live, didn't I? Not that live. Thank you. He looks real, doesn't he? Snitch right. He keeps taking. Does he really? Rich, I'll start calling you Brian again. Was it Brian I was calling it? Was it Brian? Was it not? Maybe it wasn't even Brian. I think it was, wasn't it? It was Brian. I'll start calling you Brian again, Rich. I'll do it. How can you take... Hi, Phil. How are you? Hey, Warwick. Here he is. How can you take the mick out of my accent, but Tiffany sounds the same as me? Does she get it as well? Does she get stick? Mind you, do you know what it is? Hers has started fading because you've all got that kind of posh twang, haven't you? So hers has started fading off. And the kids, just all posh. How is it going? She does. I told you she does. That's okay then. As long as the mick takings spread evenly, I'm good with it. I'm fine. Warwick, I wanted to say something to you. I was re-watching my video from the other night, and I noticed that I give you a lot of stick. I noticed that, even though you're giving me stick back by me having to keep a straight face. But I did notice I give you loads of stick the other night, and I felt quite bad. And I thought that possibly why you didn't comment on my video like you normally do. So yeah, if it was, I do apologise. I did give you a bit of stick. So I'm sorry. Oh, I'm good, Phil. Thank you. Oh, fine then. Fine. I'm glad you're not. Oh, I'm good, thanks, Phil. How are you? And I'm glad you're thick-skinned, Warwick. This is good. It was just when I was watching it back, I just thought, maybe just a couple more times I've got in. But yeah. Oh, that's good. As long as no offence been taken. I didn't think there would be, but I thought I'd just drop it out there. So, what are we all doing? Well, we know what I'm doing the weekend. Oh, very excited. My little girl's booked in to get a cut wash and blow dry tomorrow to make her all beautiful for Saturday. I'm so excited. You'd swear it was my day. I'm so excited. Fair enough. That's good. Fair enough. I'm glad that's where we are. So why didn't you comment on my video? Why didn't you comment? You always do. Why didn't you? I know. I'm so excited. I am so excited, sis. I really am. And you didn't let me know, Hayley and Tiffany. Am I okay to put a photo of you up from Saturday if I get a really nice one on the main YouTube page, so everyone knows like who they're talking to? I agree, Phil. I agree. And it is from my. Do you know what it is? When I'm talking on here, especially afterwards, okay, that's good, girls. When I'm talking after I finish the story, because Phil will call me a stalker. Yeah, when I'm talking afterwards, I think I'm joking, and I mean, I genuinely am. I'm joking, but when I watch it back, my face is deadpan. And in my mind, I'm being like funny, sarcastic, jokey, but none of that's coming across here. So that's why I've said it, because I'm like, he doesn't know that I genuinely am. All right, sis. See, you know that though. You know, my face just stays. Look, the sarcasm has just escalated to a point where people can't. Look, the sarcasm lost on people because they can't tell that I'm actually being sarcastic anymore, or like trying to make a joke. So the face just stays completely like this. So I watched it back and I was like, what if he thought I was serious? And I genuinely wasn't. So I'm glad we're there. I thought we was, but I thought I'd double check. Is that what it is? Is that what it is, Warwick? I'm not. I suppose I am a little bit. I suppose I was a little bit. Just a little bit. I don't like to offend. I don't mind offending when I want to offend, if you get what I mean. But when I'm genuinely not meaning to, then it'll play on my mind then. I am an overthinker. That's who I am. I hold my hands up. I'm an overthinker. If it doesn't make sense in my head, it'll go over and over. I'm one of them people, unfortunately. I can't just brush it and like move on. I'm not one of them. I wish I was. Because, when you think, it doesn't even play on my mind at the time. I know it does. That's worth. I wasn't sure whether to bring it up. I ummed and ahed whether to bring it up. I know you like to offend. I see. That's another thing. See, I like to too, but because yous aren't here the next day to kind of back me up, when people are watching it after the fact, they're just seeing this deadpan kind of thing, and they're not getting it. So I'm like, oh, but yes, I know. He is, and he, do you know what? He wears it with pride. You take offence, you don't you? Is that me? I'm not sure. I don't take offence. Do I? I don't really take offence. Not really. I suppose I do sometimes. I don't know. But anyway, so yes, that's what I'm doing the weekend. And the girls have agreed that you'll get to actually put a face to the names of Hayley and Tiffany. Obviously, you've already got mine. So I'll put a picture up because we're all going to be together for my little girls' communion on Saturday. I think he was saying, if you take offence, don't give it. Oh, right. Okay. So if you take offence, don't give offence. If you take offence, don't give offence. So if you get offended, don't give offence. Oh, if you get offended, don't. No, I wasn't meaning me. I'm just trying to work it out, and I'm not getting it. Do you know what? I give up. I'm being so slow today. Look, he's shouting now and everything. I shouldn't have said anything. Where am I? Do you know this one? I did notice Warwick, Phil, and Tiffany said they hadn't heard of this one. It's horrible. It's a horrible one. And let me tell you why I'm doing this one tonight. One, I wasn't sure if any of you would have heard of it. Oh, can I just show you new nails? New nails. They're not red tonight. They Oh well, that doesn't show up very nice on the camera, does it? They look a French manicure, but okay. Well, I did it myself, so it's a well known saying. No, do you know what it was? It was I read it literally. I didn't read it from an accent. If you get what I mean. So yeah, it was me. It was me. I read it wrong. But I'm still take offence, don't get. So it's like if you can text it. Is that you, Rich Brian? Is that Rich Brian? Is that you? Or are you a new Rich? And I've just called you a completely different name. I'm sorry if it is. But no, it was me. It was me, Warwick, completely. Brain's gone like this. It's crazy. But I came across as hi then, Rich. How you doing? Stop taking the mick out of my accent as well, Brian. Rich, stop it. It's not that bad. I don't think I'm that broad, really. I don't try to be. But I suppose when I watch it back, it can sort of, yeah. I suppose I am. It's what was I gonna say now? Yes, I was watching a video of this case, and that was it. I knew I had to bring it to you. I knew I had to tell you. So I will warn you all. It's a child. As Warwick says, we don't need triggers. We don't. I'll give you a heads up if there's anything, but I don't think there's anything that I'd need to. I don't think there's anything that I need to give you a heads up on. I don't think so. But it is a child, so I'm just letting you know that. If you're watching tomorrow, if this is, I understand children are alone. Some people don't want to cross, so I understand. But I'm just letting you know now. Okay, let's go. Shall we start? Where am I? What time is it? Yes, we can start. It is. Look at her jumping in before me. Look at her. I haven't even said it yet. Calm down, Peacock. Calm down. You're getting above herself, this one. So big for her britches. She's gonna be splashing around in a bathroom soon. Okay, right, let's go. The Appalling Rica Rountree story. Okay. So, like I say, it is a child. Now, I'll start off with a full name. Okay, there's a couple of names in here, as I do. I'll give you full names and then I'll tell you what their names are abbreviated to in it. Okay, right. So let's begin. She's off. Warwick, it's not even you. She's on. She's doing it tonight. I was trying to start there. Oh, she's terrible. She's off. Warwick, don't ask. She's off already. It's gonna be one of them nights. I'm gonna try and right, okay. Let's go. If you're watching tomorrow, I'm gonna start now. Okay. The Appalling Rica Rountree story. Okay, Rica J. Rountree. She was born on the 16th of April 2010 in Illinois. This is an American story in the US. Okay. Rica's parents are Richard Rountree, and that's her dad, obviously, and her mum is Antoinetta, but her name, this is what I was saying about abbreviating the names down. So her mum is Antoinetta, but she's known as Anne. Beasley / Simmons, she's remarried. Okay. Then we've got she's got 4 older brothers. Okay, but don't really know their names. I did hear the name of one, but I only heard it on one platform, so I don't want to give his name out, if you get what I mean. And I don't really need to for the story, so I'm just going to say 4 older brothers. Okay, now little Rika, very, very cute little girl, gorgeous little girl. Like I say, beautiful. She's quite outgoing. She was very girly, so she liked dolls and stuff. She loved to play with dolls. She loves the accessories of them, little push chairs. It was said that she would ask her mum to buy like little nappies and stuff for her dolls and whatnot. So she's very girly. At the same time, though, she had a little mischievous streak and she would play up her brothers and stuff. So just a very cute little girl. Now, June the 19th, 2014. Okay, so at this point, Rika's 4. And it's the first time DCFS, which is the equivalent of like child services, become involved with the family. DCFS, I believe, is the Department for Children and Family Services in America. So it's first time they're involved with the family. Basically, it was said that Rika's brother, remember I said she's got 4 older brothers, they became involved because one of the brothers happened to tell a teacher that he was being made to hold it. It's a punishment that the dad just loved to give his kids. And basically, and I've seen it in the video I was talking to you about, and basically you hold your hands out. I don't know if you can see them. I'll pull them in slightly so you can see, but imagine that I can't even put my arm fully out at the minute. So arms fully out and you hold hands. These are young children. And you put your arms wide out, hold the cans for ages. And if your hands drop, that's when daddy gets a little bit annoyed. So this is why they became involved first. It was his version of a punishment. Okay, so then we get to September the 20th, 2014. And not only was he was hands-on with the kids, he would fight with Anne. And it was said it was kind of mutual. But there was domestic violence in front of the kids. And then they were back around again in October of 2015. Again, domestic violence in front of the kids. So it's quite a volatile household from what I've read and what I've seen. So we come to 2015, and eventually, so Warwick. Oh, he's got me. I was there. I was doing okay. Right, okay. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. If you're watching tomorrow, I've got tears in my eyes. Right, okay. Sorry. I'm sorry. It is alive. You'll have to bear with me. I don't know if I can pull it back. Right, okay. 2015. I have got a sore arm, actually. Okay. If you're watching tomorrow, I've got a really sore arm, okay? And I'm being mocked in the comments, so that's what's going on. Okay, so we come up to 2015, and Richard and Anne break up. So that's 2015, okay? It's around this time that Anne starts drinking quite heavily. So we get to December of 2015. I'm just doing you a timeline that you don't need to sort of take in these dates, but I'm just giving you a bit of a timeline of the events. So December 2015, Anne gets arrested for a DUI. She has a head-on collision. She's obviously drinking very heavily at this point. So around the 18th of December 2015, she starts having to go to welfare and stuff like that. So March 2016. Now it's March 2016. Now you'd be like, well, didn't Richard and Anne break up? Is he seeing the kids and everything else? Not so much. Anne's in charge of the kids, but the alcohol's really kicking in now. She's really starting to have a problem. And one of her sons, remember Rico's older brothers, gets into a fight with a neighbour. So that causes problems. We get to April 2016. One of the brothers is said to have sexually assaulted a child. He's still technically a child as well himself. He's classed as a minor. So he's underage, but he's obviously older than the child. So DCFS get involved in that. So we get to 2016 in September, all right? Anne and her new boyfriend at this point, because remember I said she's having to claim from welfare. She's obviously drinking quite heavily. She's struggling with money. She's struggling with her kids. In order to get by and get a bit of extra money, that's what it's been put across as. Her and her boyfriend are selling drugs, basically, to earn money. That's what they're doing. And they sold drugs to an undercover policeman. Never a good move, is it? So they both get arrested and she goes to jail. So Rica, unfortunately, gets sent. Sorry, if you're watching tomorrow, please bear with me. Hi, Kelly. Look at you in Turkey. I bet is it lovely? Right, okay, I'm gonna go back. Okay, so Rica at this point is sent to live with Richard, her dad. There's them air quotes again, and his new partner. Okay, now enter Cynthia, nickname Cindy Baker. Okay, now Cindy has 3 kids of her own. All right, she's got 2 older ones. She's got one a little bit younger than Rica, and then she says they've got a baby. So the other kids are very vague. So I'm taking it from the time frame. The youngest child is a child of Cindy and Richard. Okay, so they're all living in the house. Rica moves in. All right, given what's happened to her mum. Wow. Oh, Cindy. What can I say about Cindy? So anyway, before we get there, we go to 2017. Now Anne has been released. She's actually been released early. She's on parole. And she gets back in touch with Rica. She gets to see Rica. And at this point, Rica confides in Anne, her mum, that Cindy's scaring her. Now, around this point, little Rica is obviously 7 and Cindy's scaring her. And she'd even began, no time's passed whatsoever, and she's already started whipping little Rica with a belt. All right, this isn't her child. Not that that's any excuse, but she's already started beating her with a belt. Okay. And Richard, he likes his can punishment. So he's enforcing that. The can, holding the cans, arms all the way out. I'm not doing the other one again. Arms all the way out. So he's enforcing that on Rica. So July 23rd, 2017, Anne, who'd heard this from Rica, gets DCFS DCFS involved. So they investigate Cindy and Richard, and while that's going on, Rika gets to go back to her mum. She gets to go back to Anne, and she feels quite safe again. She's back with her mum. Now, don't get me wrong, as I've done all of that about Anne, just to kind of put things into perspective of the problems Anne was having at that time. I would take it was the breakup with Richard and the trouble they'd had and everything else. She turned to drink and stuff. She obviously had trouble with the police that I've told you about. But from what I've read, nothing ever, there was no question of the love she had for her children, especially Rika. She was a youngest, she was a little girl. There was no question on that. You might think, well, if you look, it's going to sound really judgmental now, but could she have not got into that for the love of her daughter? I don't. All I know is that she loved Rika and she wanted to protect her. Okay, but Rika, when questioned, I understand talking to a child. I understand that, but surely if you're trained in child abuse claims and everything else, there's got to be something, especially when talking to a young child, there's got to be something where you would spot if a child might be covering for things. But basically they spoke to Rika and she just says no, she's not, and I like it there and I'm fine. So she was scared. She's not going to tell them, yeah, they're hitting me, because she doesn't know if she's going back to them. She's 7, so she's not young enough where she wouldn't be able to think that way. And she's not old enough to be able to verbalise exactly her fears either. So, she just lied. She didn't know what to do. So, DCFS come back with the accusations as an unfounded. And Rika is now put back with Richard, and he now has full custody of her. So it says that around this time, Rika really began to change. Now, as I told you at the beginning, she was quite outgoing. She was quite a spunky little girl, very girly, just a really cute girl, with very clever, but she began to change and started to become very quiet, and says she was very nervous when she came to visit her. And it already started going downhill. And then Richard began stopping and see Rika, and from this, because she was being stopped seeing her daughter. Put your teeth back in, Jessica. Because her visitations were being withheld from seeing Rika, Anne's mental health started to go down. So it just that the knock-on effect was ridiculous. So we come to April the 20th, 2018. Okay. So Anne goes into the school because she wants to see Rika. It's a little girl. Look, no one would stop me. And when she gets there, Rika's sat there with a black eye. She's got a split lip. She's got a broken tooth. This girl's 7 years of age. She's got fading scars. She's got a cut over her eye. And the bit that got me, now, don't get me wrong, I know the injuries and everything else, and I don't mean that. I'm just saying the bit that got me being that she was obviously this really pretty little girl, and she's still, what I don't mean that. I mean, they'd shaved all her hair off, right down to the scalp. She's a little girl. Little girls are, and I just thought, how sad. And then all the injuries to her. So Anne's completely taken back. She doesn't even recognise her daughter anymore. Like, what the hell have they been doing to my child? So she calls DCFS again. But when they spoke to Rika again, she was too scared, and she lied, and she said that she'd hurt herself in an accident. She'd banged into a door. It just sounded very reminiscent of a woman in a domestic violence situation. I fell down the stairs. I walked into a door, and they couldn't see that from a child. I fell over, and again, DCFS closed the case. It's like they just couldn't be bothered, and because there's a little girl going, saying no, they're like, oh, well, there we go, job done. We don't need to be involved in this anymore. So we come to October 2018. And Richard, by this point, had said, he told Dan he didn't even want Rika anymore. He wanted to get rid of all his responsibilities to her. He didn't want to have to pay for her. He didn't want anything to do with Rika. This child's living with him. It's not even like he didn't know Rika. It's not like this child was born without him knowing. And again, what I'm saying, there's no excuse, but I mean, it's not like this child just turned up on his doorstep, age 7, go, look after me, Dad. He's known her all her life, and it's like he's just turned on her. So December the 8th, 2018, Rika actually goes to an elementary school called Fox Creek. And she was being sent into school. Now it's winter. It's December. It's Illinois in America. It's very, very cold. I know we moan about our winters. There's a next level. And she's being sent to school with no coat on. No winter coat at all. Her clothes are all oversized, but not clean. She's completely unkempt, they say, don't they? So the school, feeling bad for her, give her a coat, and you'd think they'd be a bit grateful. They've got a few kids in that house and they've been given a free coat. No. Cindy's not happy. She frog marches into the school and basically says that the school were favouring Rika over her daughter. Remember I said she's got a daughter that's slightly younger than Rika? Yeah, they're favouring Rika over her daughter. And you might be like, well, did her daughter not have a coat? Oh, she did. Her daughter already had a coat. She just didn't want Rika to have one. Oh, so for the next 2 days, Rika's not in school. Now, she returns back on the 10th of December, 2018. And when she returned, she's got 2 black eyes. She got 2 black eyes because the school gave her a coat because her dad and her new supposed stepmom didn't give her a coat in the middle of winter, and she got 2 black eyes for it. So the school call DCFS. How many times have I said that already? How many times have I said that in this story? The school call DCFS again, and Rika lies to them again. Okay. DCFS closes the case again, basically saying that the injuries are unfounded because Rika says that she fell over. She walked into a cupboard. She walked into a door. And they just, okay, we'll take a word for it and we're going to close the case. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Someone in the comments has said, look, they're just at it again. They're just at it again. So Cindy, because obviously they're a bit paranoid on the school and they know that they've called DCFS on them again, she takes them out of the school and enrolls them in another one. They move, they enroll them in another school, and they try to start again. Not starting again what was going on with Rika, just starting again of who knew what was going on. Just disgusting. Anne herself was still trying, but she's poorly failing to get clean. Okay. So because she didn't complete all the basic rules of her probation, she must have, I think she had to prove that she wasn't drinking, she wasn't on any narcotics, as they say. She was just trying to clean herself up. Because she didn't follow through with the rules, she was sent back to prison. She had to finish 2 years in prison. So we now come to January the 25th, 2019. Okay, Rika's 8. And an ambulance has been called for her. Okay. She wasn't breathing when the ambulance came. And all Cindy and Richard says is that she'd had a bit of a poorly belly. She had a bit of a poorly tummy for the past couple of days. And what they noticed was a very, very big bruise on her abdomen. Obviously not just that bruise, as I've already told you, but that was what they really noticed on her abdomen. So she was taken straight into surgery when they got to the hospital. But unfortunately, on the 26th of January 2019, so the next day, Rika died. Aged 8. She was 8 years old. That's as far into her life that she got. And Anne, her mom, obviously, who's in prison, she was told that her daughter had died over the phone. They didn't even take her into like a room or anything. They just told her on the phone. Couldn't even imagine it. So CPS, they begin interviewing Cindy and Richard. Obviously separated them and stuff. And what Cindy says was that Rika had been vomiting and she was a bit dizzy, but they didn't get the doctor. Do you want to know why she says they didn't get the doctor? She actually says this out loud to people who can hear. She says, we thought she was faking it because she's a bit of an attention seeker. She's died. And she says that's why they didn't phone the ambulance, because she's a bit attention seeking, is Rika. Okay, so the autopsy showed that there was over 67 injuries on this child at the time of her death. A cause of death was actually peritonitis. I hope I pronounced that right. Basically, it was caused from a blunt force injury to the abdomen, and her stomach was actually just filled with blood. And so when that autopsy was given, the Cindy and Richard were actually out. They were being questioned, but they were allowed to go home. Do you want to know what these absolute monsters did? They tried to cremate her really quickly. They tried to fast track this child into a cremation. But just before she was about to be cremated, a second autopsy was ordered for her, which is amazing that they managed to get there just in time. And around this time, all the other kids that were in the house were removed. Thank God. And what was going on is they had their phones off them, Richard and Cindy, and they'd started to come across. Isn't it always? How many times do we say this? If it's not cameras, it's their phones. But they started investigating their phones, and there was just so many text messages and so many videos of just the abuse and torture of this child. Now, do you remember I said what the reason I've done this story is because I came across It wasn't one of the videos direct from the phone, but I was watching part of the trial, and it shows uh, some footage of a video taken from, I believe, Cindy's phone. And or it might have been Richard's, actually, because apparently he was the one who would record all of this. And what you see, if you do go away and look, I haven't seen anything more. It's disturbing as it is because you know what's happened. But in the video, you see, oh, it's heartbreaking. You see this little girl with her back to the camera, and she's kind of, it looks like she's in a hallway. See, someone's here recording. She's sort of in front of a wall. There's a door to the, it would be to her left, to our right. There's kind of a door sort of straight off, bending to the left as well. And what you see is this poor little girl sort of stood facing this wall with her arms out, holding these cans. And you see her struggling. And what I was confused about when I was watching this video, well, I didn't understand. I was fully expecting there to be one Cindy, and maybe Richard in this footage, or hearing behind the camera or something. There were so many people walking past this girl. Look, there was a couple of kids, but I've heard that Cindy's kids, that she had a 17-year-old son at this point, and she had a 15-year-old daughter. And I don't know if it was the daughter, and I don't want to say because I don't know. But at one point, you see a girl on come into frame, and what they're basically doing is every couple of I say every 30 seconds, lifting her arms back to where they should be. And there's music. There's like kind of R&B hip hop music playing in the I don't know if it's a house. I presume it's a house. Quite loud, but you can still hear certain words. And she's telling her to lift her arms up. But as she's holding her arms, so Rika would have her back to this girl's chest, if you like, and she's lifting Rika's arms up. Now, she's got her back to us as well. She's dancing behind her to the music like this as she's lifting her arms back into position. And I just found that awful. I find it absolutely awful. Now I know the girl was 15, and maybe she wouldn't have known how bad this was going to get, but it was that, I think that's why they called it disturbing. You can hear Cindy in the background. Oh, you can do this all day long, but when we ask you to do it for 10 minutes, you can't quite manage it. Something like that, just berating her in the background. It's just awful. The last time I seen something like that was Tegan Skaber. And you couldn't see, you could hear her talking in that one, but it was just, it, knowing what had happened to it, that's what got me. So, like I say, these videos were found. Now, other videos that obviously we haven't seen was Cindy dragging Rika around by her hair. In one video, she's naked and wet, having to hold cans, and at this point, Cindy goes up to her and slaps her twice about the face and then starts choking her. This is all on camera. Do you know who's recording, don't you? Daddy. Daddy's recording, hence he's the one with the phone recording this handiwork of his new love of his life. At one point, there's another footage of Cindy kneeing her in the back and then banging her head against the wall. And while all of this is going on, everyone's just laughing at her. There's people laughing in the background. She's 8 years old. And there's at least 4 people in that house that are, if not adults, old enough to know better. And I just thought it was awful, awful, awful. April 2019, Okay, we get to Cindy herself is charged with 3 counts of homicide. She's charged with 1 count of aggravated domestic battery and 1 count of battery of a minor. But while this is going on, Cindy gets her sister. Okay. She gets her sister to get a letter to Richard to basically say, take all the blame. She wanted him to say it was him. It's on camera, you moron. Sorry. And the counts that were against are basically the cause of, obviously we know the manner of Rika's death, but they believe the cause of her death was basically Cindy kicking her so hard in her stomach it broke her, and that's what caused the peritonitis and the insult to burst and the blood, oh God, the blood in her stomach. It said that Cindy herself, it was said that she actually had a history of doing this to kids. DCFS had already been called in 2001 for her hurting a previous stepchild of hers, 2006 for hurting one of her own kids. But they awarded less than 10 years, 10 years later. Doesn't matter if it's 10 years, but they awarded permanent custody or full custody, I can't think of it, to Richard, knowing that he's with a child abuser. It's just fail after fail after fail after fail, isn't it? It's just one after the other. So November 2019, the trial begins. Now, Cindy's 6-year-old daughter, do you remember the daughter that was just a bit younger than Rika? She testifies against her mum. And she says that she saw her mum whipping and kicking Rika, and that she would laugh. Not the child, obviously. Cindy would laugh while she was doing it, while she's kicking this little girl, this tiny little girl. Her 17-year-old son also testified. He basically said, he obviously said he'd seen the beatings of Rika, torture of Rika, and he says also she was always hungry because Cindy wasn't feeding her either. There it is. You thought we were going to make it all the way through the story, but there it is. We're going to starve her as well. And he says he noticed just how differently she was treated to the rest of the kids as well. The pathologist who took the stand actually said that the injuries to Rika would have happened 3 to 5 days before she actually died. And Cindy had said the day before Rika had died, she just spent the whole day crying. So this child was she was dying. She was in agony, and she was dying in agony. And she didn't phone the ambulance because she thought she was attention seeking. One of the teachers came forward just to basically said that, testify about the bruises that had been seen, the fact that, a massive change, she'd noticed the massive change come over Rika, and the clothes she was sent in with were the same 5 items for weeks and weeks and weeks at a time, dirty, oversized, obviously didn't fit her, bruises all over her. And on top of that, obviously there was the texts and videos of the torture of little Rika. So on the 19th of November 2019, the sentence comes in and Cindy's found guilty and she gets life. She got life with no parole. Thank God for that. I mean, we did the story on Tuesday, didn't we? And we know what happens in the UK. So obviously a US story, so she'll never see the light of day again. The sister that I told you about that tried to convince Richard to take the blame for it, she actually got 30-month probation for her trying to pass letters to him and everything, trying to make him take the blame for it. And you might be like, what happened to Daddy Dearest? What happened to him? Well, Richard pled guilty to his part in it, sitting there and recording it, doing his own little forms of punishment on his little girl. And he got 8 years. 8 years. That's what he got. So, as much as I rave about the American justice system, he got 8 years. But he didn't. Well, he got 8 years, but he didn't serve them because he was actually released on the 6th of October 2022. He'd done 2.5 years for watching the slow murder of his child. Not just watching it, recording it. There was text messages between them and everything. I mean, is that what he said to Anne? I don't want her anymore. You got to take her. I don't want any part of her anymore. I don't want to be responsible for her. Is it because he couldn't stand up to this woman, so he thought it'd be better just to pass Rika on to somebody else? I don't know. Now in January 2020, there was a memorial for Rika where like hundreds of these purple balloons were released for her outside of the home that she died in. They also do a yearly day of play for her birthday in a local park where they have all the kids come and they make it like a celebration. It's like a celebration of her life. And that's been going on, for the past few years. There is a Facebook group that her mum Anne runs called Justice for Rika J. I've had a look at it. It's just all sad from beginning to end. It really is. And it was just how quick it happened as well. And like I said, I wouldn't. If he'd have just met her, and Anne had been going through her problems, and he had this daughter just landed on him on his doorstep, and no, there's no past here, but my brain is just that he knew her all along, and he just sacrificed her to keep this woman happy. I was just, and I think it was the fact that I've seen the video as well. That's what broke my heart today when I was watching this video, because I'd already worked on the story. I already had the story ready for you and stuff, and then I was pottering around, and when you go down a rabbit hole, and I just came across the video, and it's about 8 minutes long, 8.5 minutes long. It's just horrible. It's just horrible because you don't see any what would you can't say abuse, because what was happening was abuse, but you don't see any physical abuse on her during that. But the reason it's disturbing is, one, I knew what had happened, and two, it was them walking past her. Look, there's kids walking past her, and she's just being berated, and her arms are dropping in it, and it's just, she's tiny. She looks tiny in it. Like, you only see the back of her. You don't even get to see her. It's just an awful or heartbreaking video to watch. I mean, at least that beast will never get out again, but just a dad as well. Her dad's out and about now. What's he going to do? Move on to the next? I don't know. I just thought it was awful. And that was the Appalling Rica Rountree story. Just awful, isn't it? Just DCFS at their games again. And it's always, we're going to do better, we're going to change things, we're going to learn from it. That's what we always hear. Well, lessons will be learned. They never are. They never are. I just don't understand. It is, isn't it, Phil? I just don't understand how you can sit there and interview and was she 7 at the time? 7/8-year-old child with two black eyes in front of you're looking at two black eyes, and she's like, I fell over. Oh, okay, job done. Off you go. Going, go on, you go back and play. I do. It blows my brain. Blows my brain, these stories. They really do. But yeah, that was that awful story. And like I say, there's a Facebook page up. And you can see little pictures of her. And she was just an adorable looking little girl. She really was. Just very, very sad. I don't know about her siblings. A lot of that's been, like I said, very, very vague. It's at the beginning, it was all quite vague with the siblings and stuff. And I think that's, again, like I think a couple of stories ago, I think that's quite deliberate. Oh, thank you, sis. Thank you. Yeah, that's another thing I haven't seen much on her. You've got snippets of the court case and stuff, but there's just not much on this little girl, and I just find that I find that really sad. Oh, thank you. What have you been chatting about anyway? What have you been on about in here? Warwick, it's true. That's what I'm saying. They say every time we'll do better, we'll learn from it. They never do. They never learn from it at all. It's like at this point, it's just a talking point, isn't it? It's like we've messed up. So what can we say to kind of make people stop shouting at us? We're going to do better. We're going to do reports. There's always a report. There's always a report afterwards, isn't there? It is, exactly, Phil. That's exactly what it is. It's just talking points. That's all it is. It's just to quieten people down, I find. That's all it is. And I think what I don't like, I've done obviously a lot of cases where social services here or their DCFS and stuff. Say again, don't remember those windows. Oh, okay. Oh, he's not changed then, has he? But yeah, they always say they're going to sort it out. Look, sorry, completely threw me off. If you can see that in the comments, that's obviously a story I don't know. Was it a couple of months ago now? But it's always the social service person that was directly dealing with the child, and admittedly, but they always put new workers in that position. I don't understand. The higher they become in the job, the further they are away from actually dealing directly with children. That I don't understand. Why not, when they're learning the job, keep them in admin, keep them in an admin field, keep them just doing paperwork and learning cases and learning stuff. Don't have them directly dealing with a child and trying to judge whether a child lying or not. I don't understand that. I just don't get it. I wouldn't fancy that either. Yeah, it's true. It's not the name to have, is it? But yeah, I don't get that. I don't understand that at all. It's like, why would you put someone who's literally so new to the job in the most important part of the job, in the most important section? I don't know. I don't know. It just confuses me. It just should be someone who knows the ins and outs of it, that should be dealing directly with the children. I think that's where they're cocking up. I shouldn't have said cocking up really, but I think that's where they're really getting it wrong and they're really missing a trick. They're putting new people out there going to people's homes. They don't know how to. They obviously are getting lied to from these so-called parents. Their children are lying because they're scared, and they're just not experienced enough to be able to see through the lies. And I just think it's really sad. It's really, really sad. But yes, so yeah, Damien Bendel, by the signs of it, just not getting any better, which is no surprise there. Neither would I. Oh, he's mean, Anna. He's mean. Did I miss anything in these comments? Oh yeah, how is Kelly still there? Or is she popped off again? Is she having fun? Is she having fun in Turkey? Has the daughter actually got married now? Did anyone ask? Has the wedding actually happened? Or is it like tomorrow? Does anyone know? I'd already started, so I didn't want to stop. I'm glad I got to say hi though, but did anyone ask her if it's wedding? He's all gone. Hello. Oh, is she really? Oh, wow. Oh, so do you think it might have been the wedding today then? Do you think that's why? Maybe it's tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know what day, because it can be any day abroad, can't it? It can be any day. You're out in the sun. It wouldn't matter, would it? Oh, that's lovely though. I'm glad she's having a nice time. It's nice for her to pop in and see us while she's on her jollies. That was really nice. That was really sweet. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I was just wondering. Can't remember, because I think she did tell us exactly. Did she tell us exactly when her daughter was getting married? I just know, but obviously it was around now. But dude, have you just seen that, Phil? He's so mean, isn't he? He's just such a meanie. He really is. He really is. Right, what was I gonna say now? I was going to say something. Right, I've got next week. Waiter was giving her. Is he really? Oh, isn't she the lucky one? Isn't she the lucky one? Oh, bless her. Bless her. She's having a while of a time then. I was going to say, I've got 2 stories that I'm working on. Tiffany, you asked me about that Ruby Frank. Was it you who asked me for that one? He's terrible, Anna. I've been looking into that one. I've actually watched an awful lot on it, but it's really vague though. I mean, I've obviously seen all the videos of they did while they were online and while they had their channel and everything. 8 passengers, isn't it? But it's very vague about the transition, isn't it? Oh, is there? Oh, thank you. I didn't know that. What I've looked into is that obviously she'd got into a friendship with that, I can't think of the woman's name now, but eventually forced her husband out of the family home, didn't it? And then it just she was always really severe with her punishments anyway. I knew she took away her son's bed and he wasn't allowed in his room and stuff. Oh, okay. So I've watched all of that on her, but then it all Jodie, yes, that's right. Yeah, it's because I know the dad got a lot of the blame, but apparently the dad had been ostracized for like a year before then. And he couldn't see them, and this woman had completely taken over their whole lives and stuff. And then I just know it escalated ridiculously until the kids ended up going out and asking for help, didn't they? But I need to look a little bit more into it. I need to look a bit more. I might have a look at the documentary as well, because I do need to look at a bit, because there's a load of information, then there's like this jump and then another jump, and she's in prison. So there's bits that I need to kind of fill in. So I am looking at it. I have been looking at it for quite a while, sis, so I haven't forgotten you. And obviously, who had asked me? It was Kelly, wasn't it? Oh, well, Kelly's away, so it's okay. She won't mind. Oh, what's the fella's name now? Oh, what's the fella's name that she's asked me to look into? Hernandez. The Hernandez, his name is. So Aaron Hernandez, is it? So I am looking into that as well. So I haven't forgot years. I haven't got rid of Request Tuesday. It's just because I had two that are very long that you've given me that it's going to take me a while to get everything together. And obviously I've got so much coming up the next couple of weeks. So I was like, I want to do your stories, but these, because they're requests as well, obviously I need to make sure, not that I don't make sure that I've got everything, but they're just very in-depth. They're very in-depth. So they are coming. Don't worry, they are coming. So, yes. So, Aaron, that's it. What did I say his name was? I didn't, it was nothing like that, was it? I didn't even say anything like Aaron, did I? I don't know what I says. But yes, I know it's Hernandez. I know that. So I've watched it. Do you know, I watched the documentary on him. Oh, it's a couple of years ago. Oh, did I say Aaron? Oh, look at me. Check me, eh? I didn't think I'd said it. Oh, okay. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. So they're the ones I'm looking at doing. I'm not going to take any more requests just for a little bit because I'm with yous next Tuesday and Thursday. And am I with you Tuesday? I am, because I'm back. Oh, I did. I said, yes, you've said. Oh, I genuinely didn't think I'd said it. I couldn't remember what I'd said. So Tuesday and Thursday, I'm with you. And then I'm off on me jollies the week after. And unlike Kelly, I can't do a story. I can't do a story from Lanzarote. I can't do it. I can't. So I'm just going to be sunning myself. I told you, I'm going to be a bronze goddess. That's what I'm going to be. That was very funny when I rewatched it the other night. I don't know who I thought I was the other night. It was very funny. So yeah, so that's what. So we've got next week, and then I will give you the date of when I'll be back afterwards. It'll only be. Obviously I'll do next week. I think I'm missing 3. The Tuesday, the Thursday, and the following Tuesday. I think I'm back for the following Thursday one. So then I'll be back with you then. But like I say, Saturday is my lovely little girl's communion. So I'll be up seeing the Peacock and the Hayley and the Brian. So I don't know why I'm calling everything with a the beforehand. I don't know where that's it. That's new. That's new, that is. I think it started off with the TikTok and the Twitter. And it's escalated now. It's just become a thing. So I will be up with them, but I'll be putting you as a pickup to say hi to you all at the weekend. And then yeah, I'll be back on Tuesday. Like the TikTok. Yeah, like the TikTok. That I don't know where it's come from. I don't know what that is. Oh, Warwick, do you know what? I've got to watch back now how you caught me earlier. What was it you said now? Oh, thank you, Phil. That's lovely. Thank you. But I am still here. I'm still here next week. I can't remember. What was it Phil Warwick says to me now that set me off? Oh, my arm? Oh, funny bugger. Honestly, I didn't think I could come back from it either because my eyes were crying. I was literally, when you're trying to stop tears coming down your eyes. And I was like, he's right, because I do go on about it every video. But you know what it is? Because I talk with my hands, every time I move, I'm reminded of it. So I have to share it with you. Do you know how many people I show them out? I show people in the shop. I showed people at the school today. I'm forever doing it because it's constantly on my mind. So I'm constantly going, have you seen my elbow? And then because I don't feel they can see it properly, I'm there. There, can you see that there? It's terrible. So he's got a point. He has got a real point. It's terrible. But yes, I'm going to need to watch that back. I need to watch that back to see if it was too bad. But yeah, you did get me. He really did. And then you at the beginning, Tiffany. You did make me laugh, Warwick. You really did. You really did. You nearly broke me. No, you didn't nearly. You did break me. You did. Was it the other day? I think the other day I managed to power through, didn't I? I think the other day I was good. I managed to power through, and I think there was 3 separate times, but I couldn't even make it past the first one tonight. He's terrible. He catches me every time. And do you know what it is as well? I can phase out a lot of comments, but there's certain ones that just catch my eye. And for some reason, at that point, it's always something Warwick just said. And I'll just be like, oh, he's got me again. He's got me again. He also accused me of having. Oh, are you picking on Phil? Have you been picking on Phil, Warwick? Is that what you've been doing? You got I have alcohol issues too, to be fair. I am in that group. I am in that group. I feel like if I'm honest, and I haven't even looked at the comments, I feel like we could all be we're all on that boat. I feel like it. I can feel the sense of humour off all of us. I feel like we're all in that boat. That's how I feel. Oh, I'm glad Kelly's having a good time too. Oh, that's lovely. I wonder if we'll get any pics. I'd like to see. I'm very nosy. I like to see some pics. Do you know what I watched the other night? Phil, you joined Sharon's channel, didn't you? Did you notice she's got live videos up on there? I didn't notice. I noticed her pre-recorded documentaries and stuff. Think Tiff and Haley are trying to corrupt me. Do you know what, Warwick? I wouldn't be surprised. I genuinely wouldn't. They act all innocent, but they're not. They're really not. The peacock is dangerous. She has a partner in crime up there, so it wouldn't surprise me, Warwick. It wouldn't. So is it Tiff and Haley are corrupting you, and then you in turn are passing it on to Phil? Yes, she has. Yes, she has. She's got lives. I never noticed the lives before. I just thought it was the the documentary she's put up. And the other day, I seen some of the lives she'd done. Don't ask me why. She's told me forever she's done live. She's gonna look. If she watches this back, she's gonna be like, "I told ya. I told ya." I don't believe that for a second, Warwick. Not for a second. I believe when I rewatch this back, I know exactly who would have started that conversation off and the whole stick thing, which ended with Phil getting it. So I know I'm not falling for any of it. But yeah, I was surprised. So if ever he's getting a minute, yeah, she's got some live videos up on there if you want to have a look. No one believes him. That's what I was saying. No one believes him. I wasn't even involved in the chat, and I don't believe him. So it's not gonna. I'm not gonna fall for it at all. Like I say, I think we've all got that problem. So we see each other. I think that's what it is. We all see we've got a problem. It's terrible. Right, I am going to. My legs are stuck. Do you know? I can't wait until I want to get like a table eventually, because yous are all actually on me puff. That's what yous are on. Do yous not? But you didn't know that, did ya? But you didn't see that coming, Warwick. You're all on me puff. That's where yous are. And I want to get like a proper table. But I do like this, as I've said before. I like my background, the silver and stuff. I like this. It's because I don't like change. But I'm thinking of a different layout, but similar. So he's come out. He has. Yeah, he has. So I've heard. He's terrible. Oh dear. So yeah, I do want to get like a table, and I'd love a mic. I said it last week. Wow, there's always a time for it, Warwick. There's always what's the saying? There's always a oh God, well I cut that up, didn't I? Did I just say I didn't mean to say cock up. I forget where I am sometimes. What's that saying though? There's always a time for everything, something. I don't know. I've just messed that up completely. I was trying to be funny, and it just backfired terrible. But okay, right. I am going to let you all go because it's jingle time. It's jingle time. Don't knock it till you tried it. Exactly. Exactly. If you don't know, you can't say. So there we go. But yes, if you are watching tomorrow, thank you. But if you'd like to join my Patreon, it's patreon.com/JessRose5472. And I'd really appreciate it if you could like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Look at my new nails. Look at the new nails. Look, comment, subscribe, guys. Look, comment, subscribe if you could. I'd really appreciate it. Look, comment, and subscribe. They don't believe the stalker anymore. He doth protest too much. Did you hear that Shakespeare then? So told you I could be posh. That he doth protest too much. That's what they say. But yeah, look, comment and subscribe. Did Hayley and Brian not Brian. Don't tell me. Hayley and Gavin. No, what's his name again? Sorry, Brian. But are they still here? Have they gone? They've been very quiet. Did she shout at him? Is he gone? But thank you anyway. Thank you, Hayley, and think of the dad in your story. Richard! Oh, for goodness sake. Oh, thank you, Hayley and Richard. Thank you, Warwick and Phil and Tiffany, of course, my little peacock. I think that was it tonight, wasn't it? I didn't see Sharon and Kelly. I know she was in. Thank you, Kelly, if you do watch this back. Well, I'm going to have to watch Cooler Shaker. I'm going to have to see who these people are because I genuinely, and I'm an 80s baby, and I don't think I ever heard. Maybe I know the song. Maybe I'd know the song. Maybe that's what it is. Was Courtney in? Stop. Oh, PJ. Yes, thank you, PJ. Thank you as well. I didn't see Court though. Thanks, sis. I didn't know she was in. So we had a few in. Thank you all. Thank you all so much. But have a fabulous weekend. Tiffany, I will see you on Saturday. And Hayley, I think she's gone, but if you do watch this, I'll see you Saturday. Night P, thank you so much. Thank you all. Have a fabulous weekend. I'll see you all next Tuesday. Look, comment, subscribe, guys. Look, comment, subscribe, please. No night, everyone. Look, comment, subscribe. I can't go. I'm still here. Look, comment, subscribe, guys. See you Tuesday.